Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Look like I really want kids after all. Post-separation. I left my wife 2 months ago. She cheated at the beginning of the relationship, but we worked through it. She never told me the full story. 4 years down the line, I realized that I could not get over it. Especially when she started asking me when are we going to have a baby. I'm turning 35, you know. I thought I was a fence sitter, but the reality was that I just did not want to have a baby with her. I knew something was wrong, and when I finally left, the feeling of uncertainty completely vanished. I actually want to be a father someday, but with a woman that has impulse control. Not someone that's going to duck my best friend while I'm on a business trip. The anger is still there too. Why was I so stupid to commit to that woman? After all those years, and even after leaving her, the fact that she cheated makes me feel emasculated. Pride is a terrible thing to have hurt. You are not defined by her actions, especially since she lied to you. The fact that you were cheated on is a direct result of her actions and the person she is, and not some fault of your own. Except you were a victim in that case. Men can be victims too. Thank you for sharing your story. It is the worst feeling. My husband cheated on me with a mutual friend, and we are in the divorce process now. I just can't trust him. I'm sorry to hear that. Some people have absolutely no integrity or moral compass. It's better to leave, in my opinion. What a mind duck. Wish you the best. You deserve a man who will stay by your side. Take it from someone who knows, once trust is broken, you never truly get it back. This should be one of the top questions you should ask yourself, not long after you find out about the cheating. Can I really see myself having kids with this person? This would save a lot of people time trying to fix something that is broken beyond repair, and will stop you from wasting valuable family building time. Leaving is the first step to rebuilding yourself. One of the hardest things I ever had to learn is my ex-W's cheating never had anything to do with me. I know it sure does not feel that way, but your wife cheated because she has her own issues. Good people don't burn the house down when there is something wrong with it. Your wife will have to learn on her own why she chose to do what she did. My ex-W was and still is a serial cheater. She cheated on me all throughout our 10 years of being married. It took me 5 years to figure out how to start to rebuild myself. Get yourself into counseling. Confide in family and in friends. Try to not look at this as your failure. I know that seems almost impossible now, but later you will see this was not on you or nothing you did. She could have left you if she was really so unhappy. She could have done 1,000 other things, including talking to you. She chose herself over you. Now you're doing the right thing by saying no, I won't have children with you. No, I won't stay in a relationship with you. Standing up for yourself is the best first step. Life does get better. I am 14 years out and my life is great in so many ways. I would never go back to my ex-W. I'm glad you're doing better. That gives me hope. Thank you for your kind words. Good call not having a kid with her. There's a good chance she would have went back to her old ways once she had a permanent tie to you. Yes, I dodged a bullet. My gut was telling me that something was wrong. Great job listening to your gut. I was lucky enough to avoid having kids with my ex and get out as well. Nowadays, I'm remarried with a spouse who I'm happy to have children with. There's hope. I stayed with my partner 12 years after he cheated while we were expecting, and I had our child. When I got pregnant later, we terminated the pregnancy because we didn't want to have more kids, but when the OB-GYN asked if I wanted my tubes tied, I said no. Me inside, WTF? Years later, out of that abusive situation and now engaged, I'm starting to daydream about having a child with my fiancé. Now I get it. I'm sorry you went through that. It seems like you are way happier now. I feel the same way. I'm daydreaming of having a child with a woman that respects me and loves me. Well, you're not alone. I'm now 32 and in the process of leaving someone who cheated, and also just kept pretty serious secrets from me. I don't have the anger that you do, just a lot of sadness and loss for what could have been. I wanted a kiddo, but I'm glad we never had one. He valued life outside of the home more, and I could have seen a very unbalanced responsibility in raising a child together. Nope. I understand feeling emasculated because of it. I do too. On the other hand, though, I have found out some of the most masculine guys out there, confident, hardworking, real alphas, if you will, to have been cheated on several times by their wives and girlfriends, so I think it just happens to everyone alike, except those who had both luck and good decision making when choosing their mate. Once you choose the wrong one, it can be really tough to tell that it is the wrong one. You're taking a risk. Like all risks, it can go either very good or very bad, and it's often the case that it goes very bad. I'd say most relationships fail at some point. It's the minority that doesn't have real issues. Try not to beat yourself up over it too much. You made the right decision by not staying there. Not everyone has the courage to drop it, even after years together. Being a man, the clock isn't ticking for you to have a kid, so time is on your side. I like that you pointed out cheating isn't a reflection of masculinity or anything like that. Cheating happens to people from all walks of life. Thank you, you're right. I feel you, I want to have kids also, but I don't think it's with my husband. The cheating was just recent, but even before that it just didn't feel right. Now that it happened, I'm glad I never agreed to having kids, because I'm already struggling to leave, and I can only imagine how much harder it would be with kids. Always trust your gut feeling. It's always the best. Don't worry, dude. Nothing is your fault, and don't ever feel like it is. She chose to do what she did, and someday it's gonna bite her in the ass. You learned that she wasn't the right one for you. She'll get jealous and insecure when you find someone better than her. It always bugs me how good people always get the short end of the stick in relationships and have to wait later to get blessed, while assholes have the time of their life. Eventually shit starts crashing down for them, but still I'm like, WTF. You own your life, and you cannot just settle for someone who stepped all over it and now wants a baby. You owe her no apologies. Good luck. I agree. I don't want to have a child with someone with no integrity. I want a woman that values me and respects me. I feel the same way when my husband is out of town. He cheated in the beginning too. I notice when he's not around I feel like myself again, and the anxiety is gone. Cheating deeply wounds pride because we place so much importance on receiving love when we give love and trust. But keep in your heart the truth. Some people just simply fail to see our true value. Their blindness doesn't make our reality. It's theirs to carry. You are a true treasure. You were able and willing to forgive. The fact that you stayed shows that. But when the other person isn't fully repentant, it is impossible for the other person to fully give themselves back over to that person. You left because you saw her true self, and you made a choice to live a joyful life. So now it's time to do just that and find radical acceptance that she was a flawed human who could never be good enough for you. Your diamonds lie elsewhere with some worthy of you. May I ask what caused you to finally walk away? You mentioned that she cheated at the beginning, but now, years down the line, you finally left her. Did something happen recently that sparked your suspicions? She cheated 4 years ago. She has been loyal since then. I just could not get over it. She was pressuring me to have kids, and the whole thing felt weird. Something in me, just like a feeling, telling me that if I have kids with her, I would be miserable. She's also not very compassionate, lacks empathy, etc. These were all red flags. I just could not live with myself. Have you told her the reason? What was her response to breaking up? I just told her I was miserable. Then a week later I found an apartment, rented it all, took my shit, and left. I regretted leaving, and I tried to get back together. We somewhat tried, but in the end, she did not want to. I was an emotional wreck. She mentioned that she wanted to be friends, and I refused. So I decided to go no contact and be cordial until the divorce was finalized. During this time, I started dating and hooking up. I really thought about the relationship and what I wanted in a woman. Then 2 months later, she called me and she said that she had to call an electrician to fix the microwave, and she thought of me. I'm very handy. I'm a pretty straightforward guy, so I told her that she cheated on me at the beginning of the relationship, that she was not a high quality woman, that I wanted nothing to do with her because she has no integrity and I'm not going to be her gay male best friend. I finished by telling her to never contact me again and that I wished her the best. She started crying and I hung up. Usually cheating isn't the only issue. There are other character issues like selfishness and entitlement with these folks. Not a good plan to bring kids into an already rocky foundation. She didn't emasculate you, and you weren't emasculated. You were betrayed. And though you gave her a chance to fix that, it was probably beyond your ability to let it get fixed. And that is okay. You are no less a man today than you were when you met her, or before. Do not confuse betrayal and loss of trust or trying to work it out with emasculation. They are not the same. Any real man would have walked out the day he found out and no one would question him. You stayed and tried to make it work. Some would have questioned that, but they ultimately all think the same thing: you're more of a man than I could be. And the fact that you did see it was time to move on, that isn't an easy decision either. So from brother to brother, drop that emasculated crap right now. It's a mind duck, nothing more. Sure, feel hurt and betrayed and angry. Absolutely. But not emasculated. Don't give her that ducking power. You are far less stupid than me. I was in exactly same situation. But unlike you, I agreed to have baby with her. I lived in illusion that cheating was just a fluke and won't happen again. I never thought the way you did. I was such a moron that I blew up my savings so she can do IVFs. So what happened next? That woman was apparently never faithful. She just wanted to feel being mum. After kids arrived, she made sure to systematically alienate them from me. My life was living hell as father. Last year I discovered her second known affair. I reminded her that how I had forgiven her in her first affair, have kids, get house. None of these mattered. She just wants me as ATM machine and nothing more. She has zero regrets for her affair and steadfastly denied to stop the affair. So, my man, you are so much more smarter. You knew what was coming and you got out of it. Brother, I'm sorry you are going through this. People do not realize, but cheating is just a symptom. I noticed that she generally lacked empathy and compassion. She could not really connect and understand my point of view. She always tried to push her agenda 24/7. It's weird, but it's another level of selfishness. That's really how I felt about the baby situation. She did not care about me or what made me happy. I was a sperm donor. That's how she made me feel. Just someone that would help her accomplish her goals. She wanted the house, the bay, and the picket fence. Gave no duck about my needs. It seems like the woman you married is exactly like this. I remember getting upset about this. I tried to mold her into a housewife, but at the end of the day, she could not fight her true nature. You can't force or teach grown-ups to be good partners or decent human beings. I fucking knew that the baby was leverage for her. I got a baby, now I got you by the balls, mother ducker. That's what was coming for me. Gosh man. You are exactly precisely describing my wife. Like an absolute fool I stayed and literally got treated as sperm donor who also deposited checks on monthly basis. Once we had twins through IVF, she literally used them as hostage. Now I got you by the balls, mother ducker was exactly her attitude. She immediately separated out bedrooms against my wish, taking the beautiful master bedroom while I sleep in guest room. All of my desires and preferences for kids were immediately overturned. I cannot even express which school kids will go to. She will just go and take admission. I have been living in hell for 8 years. She made me eat out every day and refused to go to work. Do you want to see your kids live like poor? If no, then don't complain and work your ass off. Recently, she also started an affair. She is completely unapologetic and has attitude, so what you gonna do? When I brought up divorce, she threatened to harm herself and file domestic violence on me. She feels she has all the cards and I have none. She has alienated kids to the extent that I spend most of my energy undoing the damage. You escaped all of these. This is what you get for forgiving her affair and giving her everything she asked for 2 decades. I am still waiting for karma, my man. You wasted 4 years of her life. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I won't shed a single tear. This seems a little unproductive. I'm a 32-years/old woman who was cheated on and spent 2 years with the person who cheated. I want children, and it was always on my mind when we were together. I seriously thought that we would grow and learn from the experience together. We sought counseling, and I did a lot of inner work. Ultimately, it tore us apart and I really didn't pay attention to all the red flags along the way because I so badly wanted to be a success story. And I still loved him dearly. There's a part of me that regrets it, but that's life. You're not wasting your time if you try, and you never know what can happen in your future. I wouldn't say Up was wasting her chance. She had a choice, too. Infidelity was just the tip of the iceberg. She was a pain in the ass to live with and I never felt that she really loved me. I met her when she was 30, she had all her 20s to lock a man, but she was ducking guys left and right. Not only that, once I was committed, her first move was to cheat on me. I won't shed a single tear for that woman. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night. Wherever you are.